You're like 6 beers deep.
Hey, guess what? Players, fantasy players, dude. If you want to draft people like last year, man, on this list, James Conner, Caleb Williams, that was a miss. All right, Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers. Okay, those were my players last year. Holy shit! So 3 of the 4 smoking hot deals, dude. Jason told you to draft Garrett Wilson last year, and that was going to be a league winner until they traded for Devontae Adams. So today we're going to be going over our fantasy beasts and where to find them. So what players we're putting our stamp on are my guys, okay, for the big people out there. And again, our hit rate on this has been pretty amazing, Jason, and we're also naming our fantasy MVP for the season. So huge episode today, a lot of effort. These are the guys that, man, like I've been doing 1,000 mock drafts. I literally draft these people every single time. So I've been thinking about this for a long time, Jason. The problem is that people are starting to realize this, and they're like, people's ADPs are going up so high. I'm starting to get pissed off, but it's okay. The players are still values. And before we get into all of this, Jason, all the league winning stuff, okay? This is our drinking episode. We got news and brews that's coming up, but the public needs to know how to help the show, man, because this show needs help more than anybody else I know.
Yes, and when you can, check out the thumbnail, dude. I think it's freaking... I think it's one of our best ones ever.
It's like the lion from Chronicles of Narnia, right?
Is it? I don't know. Oh, my God. I put in mythical beast. Anyway, if you guys made it this far and you are just already loving this episode, you guys are excited to see our fantasy, MVFPs, then please subscribe and like the channel. It pushes us out. We need it. We need to get pushed out more, a lot more. And also, vote in the comments. Let us know what you think about our MVFPs. If you have any, did we miss? What are your guys's? We're also on the radio and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We got a thank you button on all our videos. Back to you, Tyler. I'm excited. I am pumped for this, man.
Well, I wish I wouldn't have sent you the players that I had. I wish I would have surprised you. Anyways,
I said send me one, and you send me all of them.
I know. Well, hey, speaking of surprises, Jason, Rashee Rice was surprised when he pressed on that gas pedal too hard, and the car went fast. Okay, court date set at 9:30. He can play the first 4 weeks, and then this just came out an hour ago. Tom Pelissero, Rich Eisen favorite, is reporting the NFL has initially proposed Rashee Rice suspension of 10+ games. The NFL Players Association countered that no precedent exists for suspension of that length. So imagine they cut that, dude. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they cut that down to like 8, 6. I have no idea. 6 is sounding amazing right now. So at 6, I was still kind of in because, I mean, week 11, like I put it, depending on when you can draft him, that'd still be a league winner. But holy shit, dude. Huge news on Rashee Rice. How do you feel about that?
That's crazy, dude. We've been talking about most of offseason how this guy is a league winner. And now, because he gets it on September 30th as his court date or whatever, like, I can't do it. Now you're telling me 10+ games? Everyone has been trying to predict, like, what? Like 2, 4, maybe 6?
Yeah.
But 10?
10+, yeah.
I wish you never told me that, dude. I really wish you never told me
that. Well,
that.
you got to think that, you know, this is a negotiation with the NFL Players Association. So they come in high, they come in hot, and they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I don't like the start of 10+. And that people were like, I'm looking at the comments. I'm out. Because if it would have been like 4 to 6 weeks in the beginning of the season, holy shit, I would have been in. Then that last, piece of news came out. So Rashee Rice. Right now, dude, we're going to have to sit and think about it. But as of right now, say it's 8 games. That'd be week 13. He plays again. I would have to get him in like the 8th round, dude. So I'm almost out on Rashee Rice, which sucks. And then, all right, Quinshon Judkins will not face any formal charges as prosecutors have declined to move forward with the case. So he should be back in training camp and get his deal signed soon. So look for Quinshon Judkins at Jerome Ford. I was loving Dylan Sampson. And but those are both smaller backs. Dylan Sampson's production is amazing. I actually really love him still. But Quinshon Judkins is the guy that you want to pick up. He's back on the menu, Jason. So was that somebody that you were targeting anyways, or do you even care about the Browns running back?
Honestly, I haven't really looked into the Browns running game that much, but it's when we did our running back zero that was like, you could get this guy, in the mid rounds. And that was like, I think the same day where we talked about how violent of a runner he is. And
domestic violence.
Yeah.
Imagine how he is in the bedroom.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know what to say about that.
But anyways, I was all about Dylan Sampson, and now I'm gonna fade Dylan Sampson and maybe pick on Quinshon Judkins when he's super late. But if he starts going up, I don't know. I need to see some a rookie not having any training camp. It is a running back, but still, this might just be a running back by committee all season long. I don't know, dude. I gotta make up my mind on Quinshon Judkins. Then James Cook, Jason, 4-year, $48 million extension. I'm watching Hard Knocks right now. He is back in camp, and if you look at his stats, dude, his opportunities kind of suck. He was very touchdown dependent last year. But then the counter argument to that is, who else is going to be scoring touchdowns on that team? They got Stephon Diggs now. He's old as shit. But it's like, so what is going to change from last year? Josh Allen still had a ton of fucking rushing touchdowns last year. That offense is going to score a lot. So I think he's still going to have close to the same amount of touchdowns, but there is always a chance for regression there. He does not get his points through yards. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs is no longer there.
Oh, shit. It wasn't Stephon Diggs. It was the Patriots. They signed I guess that was it. Oh, it was Josh. God, dude.
Palmer.
Joshua
Palmer.
Thank you. Oh, my God. I got my teams mixed up.
I actually think Ray Davis is going to have a bigger year this year, too. And he's going to take away those touchdowns.
Loved him last year.
His touchdown rate was like 7%, like 7.5%, something crazy like that. 18 touchdowns, total touchdowns, I believe, on 200 carries. That's unheard of. That's bizarre. He's a psychopath. Put him in a ward.
Okay. And the next, put him in a ward. That's my last name, motherfucker. Anyways, Matthew Stafford, Jason, set to return to practice on Saturday. He was supposed to practice on Monday, and then he didn't, and everybody's making the hugest deal ever out of it. It is becoming an actual problem. I have not been drafting Devontae Adams in the second round because of it. I think it was second round, right? Yeah, second round. So I was picking up Devontae Adams quite a bit, and now I am out on him. I need to know what this offense is going to look like. Kyron Williams has fallen to the third round. Man, maybe it was Devontae Adams in the third round. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Kyron Williams in the second round. I've been drafting both those guys. I still love Kyron, even though he was super inefficient, but he's still going to get the same amount of touches probably. But right now, Jason, I am worried about Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. They are both going top 3 rounds. So how do you feel about Matthew Stafford? I know he can just wake up and throw 3 touchdowns to these guys, but still, this is not great. Like, he needed to be building this crazy rapport with Devontae Adams right now.
And he's not.
Yeah, I know.
He also got an epidural.
It's like, yeah, that's what women get when they're pushing shit through shit that doesn't fit. Pushing a square through a round hole.
They're called babies, Tyler. We call them babies
Man.
here.
Oh, you're a dad now, and all of a sudden your verbiage, your language changes.
Yeah. Poo-poo, caca. They, Puka Nacua is somebody who I've been drafting every time in the first round. And I am scared. I'm scared now.
That's good to go from poo-poo caca to Puka Nacua. I was like, and then here we go, man. Yeah, I know. It's like, what the fuck? You're gambling with your life with this right now.
I know. Dude, he's got to practice. He's got to practice tomorrow.
And then 8, Jordan Love, surgery on his left thumb, so not his throwing hand, should be ready for week 1. Matthew Golden has been getting a ton of training camp hype. I watched his breakdown of his tape on his first preseason game, and it wasn't a lot of route running. It was just getting to his spot real fast, which he did. So I still like Matthew Golden a lot. Jordan Love, though, is scaring me. I'm telling you, I've not found myself to draft any Green Bay Packers other than Josh Jacobs and Matthew Golden, because where Matthew Golden's going right now, like the 7th, 8th round, I think that's totally fine. And regardless of Jordan Love's health, Josh Jacobs will be fine. But dude, everybody else on that team, I think I'm fading, man. I don't draft Kraft. I don't draft any of the other wide receivers. Have you found yourself drafting anybody, Jason, on that team other than Josh Jacobs and maybe Matthew Golden?
Josh Jacobs only, and I'm pushing Jordan Love to the 3rd round in Thumb Wrestling Championships fantasy. He's now in the 3rd round. I don't like the surgery on the thumb. It's something you don't pick.
How many rounds are there, dude?
You don't pick people who had surgery on their thumb in the 1st round, so I'm pushing them to the 3rd.
Okay, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? All right, man. I'm gonna start. Let's start with you, Jason. Let's get into it. We're gonna get into our fantasy beasts and where to find them. Jason, I swear to God, you better have their ADP available.
Kinda.
I've been watching a lot of King of the Hill, Jason. You were like, Bobby. Okay.
Okay. I'm proud of you too, Dad.
Hell, Dad, I'm proud of you too.
All right, man. These are going to be a little bit more winded than normal. I wrote a lot because I'm excited about each one of these players. The first one I have to talk about is quarterback Justin Fields. So before being replaced by Wilson, he was quarterback 6 with 19 points per game and averaged close to 40 rushing yards per game. During that stretch, he was averaging 9 rushes on the ground and had 5 rushing touchdowns. He has a career average of 50 rushing yards a game. That's starting each game with a 5-point advantage. On DraftKings, his rushing yards are set at 650, and he has surpassed that line twice, with one season finishing with 1,143. In the first preseason game, he went 3 out of 4 for 42 yards and 2 rushes for 14 yards with a rushing touchdown. If you are worried about this guy's throwing, each year his completion percentage has improved, and it was 66% last season, which is better than the epidural taking Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen. And he will rekindle his relationship with his college buddy Garrett Wilson, who is arguably the best wide receiver he has had on his team. And he still has the explosive running back with Brees Hall, who, he already gets like 60 receptions a year. Jalen Hurts last year, was quarterback 7 in points per game with 2,903 passing yards and 18 passing touchdowns. He also had 630 rushing yards and 15 rushing touchdowns. You cannot convince me that Justin Fields is unable to reach those same marks, and you're getting him 8 rounds later in the 10th round. I'm saying he has the potential to be a league winner.
Jason, every time I fill up my roster with running backs and wide receivers, and I pick up maybe, Colson, Loveland, or whatever in the 9th round, I look down and I'm like, oh my God, Justin Fields is still available. This is crazy. But I think it's funny. Did you see the video? I should have sent it to you. It came out, I think it was this morning, maybe it was yesterday, of like a compilation of his throws versus interleague squad practice or whatever. It was god awful, dude. That fool looked like he never played football in his life, and he could not hit shit.
Yeah.
So if you look at, did you watch that video?
I've seen that video.
I was like, dude, this is the worst video I've ever seen of a quarterback.
At first, like those videos, I always pay close attention to them. Like, oh my God, look at all these missed throws. Until that one year, I sent you one of Baker Mayfield doing it, and we're like, dude, stay away from Baker Mayfield. We've seen videos, and then he goes out and is a top 10 quarterback that year. So it's like, they're showing you all the bad throws. Everybody has damn bad throws, but
you don't know what kind of scenario they're practicing. Like, hey, man, practice with 3 fingers because you might get too jammed.
Try to throw out. Try to throw it at his shoelaces. We want to see if you can throw it at his shoelaces. But
anyways,
the whole point of Justin Fields is like, I'm not expecting this guy to get 30 passing touchdowns.
Well, I was just going to say, Jason, like, he's a gamer anyways. It's like, just look at his stats. If he was that bad as he was in that video, he wouldn't have been getting fucking that in preseason. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, man, Justin Fields, right now, it's like, I get him and like Jared Goff, and I'm totally fine, dude. And it's like, you didn't waste a draft pick on a quarterback until round 11. It is insane, the quarterback depth right now. So you get one safe floor, like Jared Goff's gonna be a top 13 quarterback, And then Justin Fields could be a top 6 quarterback, something like that. So, yeah, that solves that. All right. Are you ready for this, Jason?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. I'm starting from the bottom up. Remember, dude, my hit rate last year was insane. If Caleb Williams would have been so fucking terrible. I'm never going to invest in a rookie quarterback again, Jason, even though you invested in Jaden Daniels last year. I wish you would have made Jaden Daniels one of your my guys because you were all about him last year. Okay. First dude on my Vikings. All right. So I should know something, right? No, I don't know shit. Running back 39 right now. I just know that Jordan Mason is going as running back 39 is a sin of the Bible of fantasy football, Jason. So on the 12 and 13 turn, dude, you can get a running back it's going to be flex worthy. I guarantee it. Training camp reports say he is splitting first team reps with Aaron Jones. Jason, I think I've been talking about this for like 5 years, even when before Kevin O'Connell. The potential for running backs in this system is insane. I don't understand it, but every time I watch a game, dude, they just continually avoid running backs and throw to their wide receivers or whatever. Now they have a rookie quarterback that is only throwing fastballs. Not a lot of great reports coming out of camp on JJ McCarthy. I don't care who you ask, but if you read the real shit, it is not great. They're going to run the ball more than they have in the last probably 4 years. Let's see. And then real fast, Jordan Mason as a player, dude, running back 5 over the first 4 games, averaging almost 19 fantasy points per game. Everybody remembers that he was going to be the league winner of the year. People got him off of waivers in like the first week, spent all their money because or before the draft or after the draft because Christian McCaffrey was supposed to be ready and he was not. And let's see. He only started 5 games without being injured. So 4 games, right? He was a running back 5. So that's pretty good sample size. And then he was injured pretty much the entire time with a shoulder and ankle injury. He averaged 5.2 yards per carry. That was the 6th best, 3.35 yards after contact. He is a bigger back. And then this was huge, Jason. We talked about 8 men in the box and opportunities. This fool literally had the most. He faced a 33. So one out of every 3 plays, he ran the ball. Had an 8-man box. You look at the Vikings in that system. It's the same system as Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams has been like in the league low versus 8-man boxes since he's been in the league. This is Kevin O'Connell's system. Okay, so especially with Justin Jefferson and Addison, they cannot stack the box. So Aaron Jones faced an 8-man box, dude, 18.4% of the time. So Mason with that efficiency versus the most stacked box. Imagine in the same system, man. Zone, run, block, whatever bullshit you want to say is Shanahan's system. Now with a stacked box half of the time, dude, it's going to be crazy. So the Vikings averaged almost 27 rushing attempts per game last season, and Aaron Jones had 15 of that. Oh, God. I pressed down on my thing. Don't look at that. Had almost 15 of those. So 11 attempts up for grabs. But I think there's actually going to be more than that because they had terrible backups last year. They had to depend on Aaron Jones way more than they wanted to. And then Jones was inefficient in the red zone last year. He only scored 3 times in how many carries? Inside the 5-yard line. He was one of 10 backs with a negative yards per carry within the 5. He has not scored more than 5 rushing touchdowns since 2020. So think about this offense with a rookie quarterback. They're going to move the ball. They're going to be running the ball a lot. And then as far as stats we care about, forced missed tackles, Mason 0.24, Jones 0.18. He is slowing down. And then this is the only player I have that is not like top 5 strength of schedule. 15th best strength of schedule. That's average. You're not running away from that. He has the 9th best. So he gets to go against Dallas, the Giants, and then let me look at this real fast, Jason, and Detroit. Detroit's not great. But the first 2 weeks, man, amazing fantasy playoffs. There is a chance, Jason, Aaron Jones, man, inefficient. Jordan Mason could be amazing in the system, man. When he is healthy, he is such a good running back. I made the Dynasty League my first time. Hey, invite us, Jamie. Come on, man. What are you doing, dog? Hey, but anyways, Jason, Jordan Mason, I draft every single time unless I'm with you because you drafted me for me.
Yeah, we both love this guy. And there was a tape yesterday because they're doing a joint practice with the Patriots that Aaron Jones had like a 40-yard deep reception for a touchdown. And then everyone's like, oh, forget about Jordan Mason. He's out of here. We don't want anything a part of that. Bro, no, listen. Everyone just needs to listen. Aaron Jones is still going to be a decent pass catcher. He's the best pass catcher on that team for running backs. Jordan Mason is going to be the best runner on that team. Behind that offensive line that just got, they improved. And there was some stat, I'm trying to remember, that they do the 7th most outside zone run schemes.
Yeah.
And
I was trying to find that stat.
Yeah. His stats are way better than Aaron Jones on that. So I think at this time in the careers, Aaron Jones is a better runner. Or no, sorry, Jordan Mason is a better runner than Aaron Jones.
And
as the year goes on, I think he's going to get more opportunities in the run game. Yeah,
and you could say pass catching, third down back Aaron Jones, but the offensive coordinator was just praising Aaron Jones for his pass catching ability in training camp. So I'm like, holy shit, not Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. So yeah, anyways, man, Jordan Mason, I swear to God, dude, you better draft him every single draft. It's insane where he's going and the opportunity. He has potential to be a top 12 running back. That's what I'm looking for here. And then, hey, Jamie, man, come on, man. Make yourself a 12-man league and invite Jason tonight. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Please, man. Go ahead and send me that invite, man.
I would have invited you. I'm calmer than you, bro. Oh, I know. Anyways. All right, Jason, next up.
Okay. Calvin Ridley. Step on up.
We were early on him, Jason. I just want to say we were early on him, and everybody was doubting him. And then they saw the preseason game, and now they're like, oh.
I got some crazy stats with this guy. We've been chasing Ridley since his 2020 season when he finished wide receiver 4 in points per game. The last 2 seasons, he had the worst quarterback play. In 2023, he had He was 82nd in catchable target rate. In 2024, he was 97th in catchable target rate. He's had some worse luck with quarterbacks since Matt Ryan. Hopefully this guy doesn't gamble because his luck sucks. Cha-ching, bada boom. Even with the worst quarterback play, last year he was still a threat. He was 1st in air yards, 5th in ADOT, and 3rd in deep targets. So at least he was getting target deep. He was 10th in yards per reception at 15.9. So if you had a catchable target and he caught it, that's 2.5 points per catch. Titans quarterbacks had the 6th lowest accuracy rate last season and were fairly close to league average on deep accuracy rate, so nothing special. But, Tyler, what blows my mind is this guy was the best wide receiver on the Titans, and he was only targeted in the red zone 8 times. He only had 4 receptions inside the 20. That is unheard of for a wide receiver 1. He had 4 touchdowns last season total. 1 from 38 yards, 41 yards, 15 yards, and 10 yards. With 4 receptions in the red zone, 2 were touchdowns. But for some reason, they only targeted him 8 freaking times. I don't believe it. But it is true, ladies and gentlemen. Now he has the 1st overall draft pick, Cam Ward, and he looks by far better than the quarterbacks he's had the last 2 years. And in training camp, Ward is throwing up touchdowns to Ridley on the reg. In the first preseason game, Ridley had 3 receptions on 3 targets for 50 yards from Ward. According to Fantasy Pros, Calvin Ridley has the easiest strength of schedule, and his competition is a 45-year-old Tyler Lockett and I don't know how I'm still in the league, Van Jefferson. If you're a Cam Ward truther, then Calvin Ridley needs to be on your team, and you can find him in the late 4th.
Las Vegas, Jason. If you add up his yardage and touchdown totals, his odds are to be wide receiver 22. He's projected, if you look at projections and like experts and shit like that, how they project shit out, wide receiver 24. Right now, his ADP is wide receiver 31. So even like on projections from last year with the shitty quarterback and stuff like that, he is still a value, and he can exceed that no problem. He has top 12 potential, and he looked huge compared to everybody else out. I don't know why he looked so big when I was watching that preseason game, but that stood out to me. So he has a defined role as like a downfield bigger player, and they were using him like in mid-level routes, like that drag route and stuff like that. So yeah, I was super encouraged after that first game. We already were talking about him. So Calvin Ridley, man, I was looking down the list of what I wanted, and he was one of the players I wanted. So you took him. Good job, Jason. All right, man.
Hold up.
Next up.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Jamie said he's going to invite us.
Oh my God, Jamie! If you actually go through with this, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight because I'm gonna be so excited.
I know, me too. Also,
who do I want in my dynasty, man? Who do I want in my fucking dynasty?
Shadow Wiz Wicked.
The Shadow is Wicked? Oh, one man. Oh, Shadow is Wicked. That's badass. One man keeper league questioning Kyron Williams, Brock Bowers. Oh, tight end slot in my league. Keeper league. Would you do? So I would do Brock Bowers, especially in keeper league, because you got to think about longevity, dude. You're going to keep Brock Bowers in the 10th round for how long? You know, where Kyron Williams, he's got 1-2 years left. You know, Brock Bowers, man, I would go with every time. How do you feel about that, Jason?
You got to go Brock Bowers. I mean, honestly, I feel like Sean McVay is just not wanting to have Kyron Williams because every year he keeps drafting a running back.
I know. Yeah, no shit.
So, yeah, Brock Bowers for sure.
All right, man. Let's get into my number 2 beast. Remember, I went 3 for 4 last year. Kicking ass, dog. Kicking ass. If Caleb Williams didn't take a big shit, oh my God, it would have been a year to remember. MVPs. I'm sharing it. I'm saving my MVP for last. Ricky Pearsall, Jason. Wide receiver 44. There's 32 teams in the league. All right. So his ADP is 121. You can find him in the 10th, 11th round turn. Wide receiver 82 finished last year, so you got to scroll way down. Okay, way down. Wide receiver 6 over the last 2 games. He literally has potential in this Kyle Shanahan system to be a top 10 wide receiver, and that is like no joke. And he's going as wide receiver 44. If you look at the ceiling, no wide receivers around him have that ceiling other than Juwan Jennings. So I was all on Juwan Jennings, okay? But he has not practiced since July 27th. He suffered a calf injury and is not wanting, and is now not wanting a contract. He's now wanting a contract extension. So I've been telling you this, Jason, for a while. I'm waiting for that Achilles to pop on Juwan Jennings. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, dude, what the fuck are we talking about? Ever since Tyrese Halliburton, you know, calf injury. Is Jason Tatum calf? All these people with calf injuries, it turns into Achilles. I feel like that's NBA. I know, I get it. Still, no timetable for Ayuk to return, and reports are saying he's out until week 6 at least. So you tell me there's a first-round draft pick in a Kyle Shanahan system that is literally the number 1 wide receiver in camp in the second year after being drafted in the first round. I mean, there's all this shit, dude. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How is this guy going as wide receiver 44? I do not understand it. And then I have noticed he's a hot topic on the news because I was looking at news, and he's like a very, very favorite breakout. So it kind of pisses me off because I've been drafting him. I've been drafting Juwan Jennings like a motherfucker since like March. And now I had a shift, dude. I had a shift because of Juwan Jennings. Anyways, he did not debut last year until week 7 because he got shot. Remember, they got shot. There you go, Jason. Drive by. Only had 2 catches. He's a big perm, big worm for weeks 11 through 15. So he had a great debut. I think he got a touchdown with like 5 targets. Then he did not do shit, dude, for 4 or 5 for a month. 10 targets, 141 yards, and a touchdown week 17 versus Detroit in a competitive game. And then they sat a lot of people, 8 targets, 61 yards, and a touchdown versus Arizona. He had 2 rushing attempts in week 17. I just want to bring that up because of Deebo Samuel. Okay, so we got Christian McCaffrey. We got Isaac Guerrero's already fucking injured. There is a world where Ricky Pearsall is used like a Deebo Samuel, and we start talking like he's breaking the game, okay? He played much better when lined up out wide, so I'm going to talk about role. Like, does he have a defined role even with Juwan Jennings? He played much better on the outside, finishing with 1.59 yards per route run compared to 0.87 in the slot. And then most players in the slot are much better against zone because they can sit in that zone. Like Lad McConkey was amazing versus man. Ricky Pearsall is amazing versus man. He's much better versus man. But again, with his outside success and better versus man, he's probably going to be on the outside. And Jennings ran much more in the slot last year. So the defined role, Jason, is the Ayuk outside role, the Calvin Ridley role, the Julio Jones role. And they've spent a first-round draft pick on him. He ran a 4.4140. He's not just a white dude. He's actually athletic. Second best wide receiver strength of schedule. The second best strength of schedule, dude. For Brock Purdy, they're going to throw for I do not like Brock Purdy as a player, as a fantasy player, But you look at his schedule, dude. You got to draft him. He's going to win a lot of people leagues. And Ricky Pearsall is going to benefit from that. But the problem is he has the worst playoff schedule at all overall. Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Chicago. So Tennessee give up like the second fewest. Third fewest. Chicago second fewest. Holy shit, that's not great. But as of right now, huge value on Ricky Pearsall, man. 10th, 11th round, and he could be easily a top 10 wide receiver. You don't find that, man, other than Juwan Jennings. So I can eat my words, and it could be Juwan Jennings. But right now I'm going with health and draft capital. Ricky Pearsall, Jason.
Step out of the swamp with 10.5 Gators.
Hold the phone. 3 years later.
He's from Florida Gators. Tyler, he's the only healthy. I think he's like the only healthy wide receiver on the 49ers right now.
Well, Kittle's skyrocketing because of it, but Ricky Pearsall stayed the same. And I'm like, just shut up, everybody. Just shut up. Just leave him down there, okay? Because if he goes up 2 rounds, I'm still drafting him. Like, it's crazy how low he is.
Just shut up.
I forget what song that is.
He's going to be a valuable player because he's the only one getting the valuable reps right now. And like George Kittle's still going to get his for sure, but you want that guy who's going to have the chemistry with Brock Purdy. You do that.
And we talked about his role. And we talked about his role. You know, like George Kittle could fill that Juwan Jennings, like middle of the field, third down, touchdowns. But again, there's nobody in this role with Ricky Pearsall. He plays the outside. He plays the versus man a lot better. So I love that, Jason. I'm going to piss my pants. So you can go into the next player. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing.
There y'all want Achane.
Oh, God.
Drink to this. Let me get a little drink before we get going. Get a little crazy. Okay. Let's start this off by saying we are possibly talking about the next Marshall Faulk. Yes. We saw in 2023 his rushing yards over expected per attempt was 2.75. Okay. For comparisons, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley ranked first and second in that category in 2024, but averaged under 1.8. His 2.75 number is godlike, all right? And then in 2024, Achane had a horrible offensive line, but still was 93 yards away from 1,000 rushing yards. But then he was first in receptions for running backs with 78. He was first in design targets per game at 2.1, ahead of Alvin Kamara, who was at 1.8 per game. The thing is, he could have 1,000 receptions last year if Tua stayed, or 100 receptions last year if Tua stayed healthy. In 11 games with Tua last season, he averaged 22 points per game, 6 receptions, 6.6 targets a game. Without Tua, 8 points per game, averaged 1 reception on 2 targets per game. So he was on pace for 102 receptions if Tua played all 17 games. And then, hold on, let me scroll down here. And then the Dolphins traded away Jonnu Smith, who had 111 targets. Most of those will go to Achane because Tua does not want to stay in the pocket longer than 2 seconds. He wants to get that ball out. The closest person to him is going to be Achane. And with rushing with Tua, when Tua was healthy, Achane's rushing, he averaged 56 yards on 13 carries. Without Tua, it was 47 yards on 10 carries. So, career games with Tua, if Achane seen more than 5 offensive snaps and Tua is fully healthy, he averages 12.2 rush attempts, 6.1 yards per carry, 5.6 targets, 17.2 expected fantasy points, but he gets 21.8 fantasy points per game. So he's even beating expectation when Tua is healthy. It's fucking insane here.
He's been in the league, yeah.
Yeah, he has hit 20-plus fantasy points in 13 of 22 games. That's 60% with Tua healthy and has scored all 23 career touchdowns in these same games. This is maybe a Tua post, right? And everyone's afraid Tua's going to die on the field, but he could also play every game. He did it. He played every game in 2023. I'm tired of being afraid of Achane. So, Achane, what is your profession?
Have you been thinking about this? even thinking about this.
I thought about that in the car, and I've been wanting to say it all day.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, everybody's saying, so I don't like to speculate, but Waddle and Achane, a lot of people are taking it already because they think that Hill is going to be traded halfway through the season. So Waddle's a huge value, and that goes on to Achane as well. Just imagine an offense without Tyreek Hill. They're going to be, because Achane is already pretty much a wide receiver. I mean, that's where his value is. So this is a huge bump in PPR, Jason, even half PPR. But yeah, so when you think about Tyreek Hill being traded, it kind of bumps his value even more. And he's a lot of people's like favorite player of the draft right now. So I'd have to agree with you. I think you drafted him. I remember you and I were both like trying to get him his rookie year, and you drafted him. And dude, that was like a league winner right there.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, I remember that. But when he scored his like 50, 70 point game, whatever it was, he was on my bench. So I'm like,
oh,
yeah.
That's right, dude. Yeah, he had crazy shit.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to share something. Oh yeah. I was like, why is this doing this? I'm going to share something with you real fast. My screen. And this sucks because I saw one of the fantasy football. I don't watch fantasy footballers, but I was on Reddit, and it's like one of the players. This is the player that was picked by like Mike or something like that. Whatever, dude. I don't care. They submarine my season too many times to listen to. But hey, they're right on one thing. King Tet, dude. Tet McMillan is. I've been drafting this fool for so long right now, and he's gone up like 2 rounds, and I'm still like, hey, I would still draft him in the 5th round. He's going in the 7th, on that 7-8 turn on average. He was a first-round rookie and the number 2 wide receiver taken overall in the 2025 draft. Why do I have that? 2025. But when you look at the odds of like first-round draft picks, especially wide receivers hitting, it is like 75% or something like that. So the odds are in his favor, Jason. And then looking at his head coach, Dave Canales was a passing coordinator for Seattle in 2020 to 2021. DK Metcalf is 6'4". He had 10 touchdowns. And was wide receiver 7 in 2020, 12 touchdowns, wide receiver 14 in 2021. Those were literally his highest touchdown years. His only 2 seasons with more than 8 touchdowns in general, dude. So Dave Canales, the offensive coordinator for the Bucs in 2023. Mike Evans. Let me move your ass. You did your big ass heads in my way. I got to go back to my screen. Mike Evans had the 3rd most targets inside the 5-yard line with 6. And then converted 4 of those into touchdowns, which was the most that year. He was 15th in targets, so not a lot of targets, but the targets in Dave Canales' offense for these type of players are red zone targets, high-value targets, so it's kind of different. And it was tied with Tyreek Hill for number 1 in touchdowns with 13. So Evans finished as wide receiver 7. DK Metcalf was wide receiver 7. We're talking top 10 potential for this guy, dude. King Tet, 6'5", 219, 4.4840. That was at his pro day. Mike Evans, 6'5", 225, 4.5. So very similar size, very similar speed. DK Metcalf was 6'4" and crazy 40, but not nearly as talented in the fucking wide receiver department as far as catching balls, for God's sakes. And then let's see, going down the list, man. McMillan is 89.5 receiving grade in the 5th, was the 5th best among Power 5 receivers 6'2" or taller in the last decade, dude. That's insane. The only receiver with more receiving yards during that span was CeeDee Lamb. So you look at big wide receivers that were productive versus good colleges. CeeDee Lamb is in this category. You look at Dave Canales with tall wide receivers. You're looking at DK Metcalf, best years. Mike Evans, best years. Then you write, well, all right, well, how does that translate to his new team and opportunity? No Panthers wide receivers last season had a target share above 20%. Adam Thielen, all that shit, dude, was injured a lot. And they didn't have a consistent X receiver. So X receiver, the number 1 read, most of the time, the deep threat. This should allow McMillan to be the clear X. And, he has a clear role in this offense is what I'm trying to say. He's the 11th best strength of schedule, which is fine, but rookie wide receivers really hit their stride down the stretch. Jason, he has the 4th best strength of schedule for the fantasy football playoffs. He's going to be a league winner. He's going to be a league winner. He's going to be in the MVP discussion, dude. Because when you win leagues over the playoffs, you get in that MVP discussion. New Orleans with Kellen Moore. You think they're going to improve in defense? They give it the 8th most. Tampa Bay, dude, they've been giving up points to wide receivers for like 5 years. The 6th most. Then Seattle. It's going to be middle of the road, maybe a little bit better. But again, Jason, he's going to get you to the fantasy football championship at least. King Tet, you and I both love. I do not know how you don't draft him in the 5th, 6th round every single time.
Did you say he's going in the 6th round, like the 5th, 6th round?
He's going at the late 7, early 8. So the 7-8 turn.
Dude.
But when you look at people, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to Teddy." They say they're going to Teddy fuck people in the 5th round.
That is crazy, but that's pretty good, pretty clever. But the reason why I love this guy so much is because where he's going in the draft, I think he is like the only wide receiver 1 going at that spot. And he was a top 10 draft pick.
I mean, dude, it's insane when you think about it.
And then when you see how Bryce Young was like playing last year, and even preseason, he looked pretty good.
Oh, look at the preseason game, man. He literally, before Ted McMillan knew the ball was going to be to him, the ball was in the air, and it was dropped in the basket, and he made an amazing contested catch. So, very Mike Evans-ish. That's what they compare him to. Dude, I don't know how you don't compare him to it. And he has Mike Evans like most productive head coach. This scenario is amazing. So, I mean, I did not want to do King Tet because everybody's doing them, but I don't know how you do it. And we've been pushing them for a while. So you got to stick with your guns, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay. All and right. Also, when I went pee like a little bit ago, I was so excited because all I could think about was being in a dynasty, dude. So, hey, Sexy Mexy. Thank you so much, man. You're amazing. Oh, all right, Jason. I'm going to stop sharing. Who's next?
All right. It's time for my fantasy MVP. And it is R.G. Harvey Denton. I've been talking about this guy since the draft, dude. If anyone's surprised about this, then you suck because I've literally been raving over this guy. So bullish on him. Anyway, Tyler, you might want to sit down for this one. We're going to be here for a while.
Oh, no. Yeah. Hey, real fast. I did see videotape of him turning the corner in the preseason. I do think that he has a role in this offense.
King Tet or Hart?
No, dude. We're talking RJ Harvey. It was a tape of him on an outside play, changing direction and turning the corner.
Hell yeah. He was an explosive runner in college, 4.4 40 time, 91st percentile speed score, or 91st percentile with the speed score, 88th percentile for burst. So he has the juice. Harvey had the best career explosive run rate in this draft class, 21%, and ranked second best in yards per. Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, and second best in yards per carry against stacked boxes at 5.28. He's also one of the only 6 running backs in the last decade to average 6.5 yards per carry on both inside and outside runs. Among the 6 running backs drafted in the first 2 rounds, Denty, Hampton, Henderson, Junkins, Johnson, and Harvey was ranked first in explosive run rate, second in elusiveness rating, and second in receiving fantasy points per snap on that list of 6. Okay. Mr. Sean Payton drafted him in the 2nd round, so he has 2nd round draft capital. He has been looking for his Joker in Denver, and I think he found him. He has been talking good about him all camp. There was a scare about his depth chart, but Payton had Bo Nix, 3rd on the depth chart last year, and he put Alvin Kamara last on the depth chart his rookie season as well. It's just something weird that he does. Then Harvey had 9 opportunities to Dobbins 1 with the Broncos' first team during the preseason game versus the 49ers. I watched that, and I was like, yes, more. Dobbins is a better pass blocker. Good for him. Get a little pat on the back. Do you know what other running back was awful at pass blocking last year? The dude couldn't even block his email. Bucky Irving. We all saw what happened to that dude. And Dobbins ranked 30th in yards after contact per attempt and 33rd in missed tackles forced per attempt. After week 2 last season, Dobbins' explosive run rate dropped from 2nd best to 43rd best after just 2 weeks. And he's not much of a pass catcher. His career high is 32. So this is where Harvey will dominate. There are 70 vacant targets for running backs, but Javonte Williams, gone. Broncos running backs in general over the last 2 years have had more receptions than any other team's running backs. Sean Payton's backfield has never been outside the top 6 in target share for running backs. The last 7 teams Payton has coached where the receiving back was a player that he drafted, they ended the season top 2 in targets. Sean Payton has had 18 fantasy running backs and PPR. What is it? Okay. Sean Payton had a top 18 fantasy running back and PPR points in the last 14 out of 15 seasons when he was with the coach, the Saints and the Broncos. 11 of those years, it was achieved by Alvin Kamara and Reggie Bush. Kamara had 81 receptions as a rookie. Reggie Bush had 88 receptions as a rookie. Harvey will be playing their roles. Also, I've said this in past episodes, Reggie Bush was playing with Deuce McAllister, and Kamara was playing with Mark Ingram, and they both still dominated. If Dobbins gets more rushing yards, IDGAF, bro. Reggie Bush didn't get his first 1,000-yard season until his 5th year, but was still top 10 in points per game his first 3 seasons of his career. Kamara has never had a 1,000-yard season. He's never done it, but only been outside top 10 in points per game once. Bo Nix has had the 3rd highest rate of targets behind the line of scrimmage last year. Harvey is running behind one of the best offensive lines in the league, and that was 1st in run block win rate and 1st in pass block win rate. The Broncos will score more points in 2025. Harvey may start slow in the beginning of the season, but hold on to him because that motherfucker's going to the moon, baby. Yeah. And you get him in the 6th round.
Jason, well, my biggest complaints were going to be, hey, I love J.K. Dobbins. It's going to be, what about his pass protection? You addressed that immediately. I didn't know that, but I did not know that Bucky Irving was a terrible pass protector. So, I mean, I get it. And then also with the rushing yards, like, I guess you're right. Like, say J.K. Dobbins gets all the rushing yards, all the tough yards and everything else. He can still be a top running back with no rushing opportunities. So I like that a lot.
That's happened multiple times, multiple seasons with Sean Payton and his running backs.
All right, man. I'm going to share my screen. That was your MVP, Jason.
My MVFP.
Your fantasy MVP. All right, here comes mine. And is it the same as people's? Yeah, but I don't know how you quit. I changed, Jason. I like this player. I was drafting this player. And then the first preseason game started. So I had to go crazy. So Travion Henderson. Right now, being drafted as running back 23. It was like he was going so late, just like a month ago. So in the 7th round, people are taking him in the 4th, though. So when I want Travion Henderson, I have to take him in the 4th, Jason. And I have been doing that quite a bit. It almost reminds me of, I remember when you and I were both trying to take Devon Achane in the 4th. It was like, oh, it's a huge risk. And dude, it paid off. It was a league winner. So it reminds me a lot of Devon Achane. So 2nd round draft pick, number 38 overall. So not just a 2nd round draft pick, man, a high 2nd round draft pick. Josh McDaniels says he's the fastest running back he's ever had. And so I started going back through the running backs for Josh McDaniels. But I want to talk about he's a smaller player. Ramondre Stevenson is going to be, the better pass protector, and Drake May needs to be better. All this stuff. Dude, Travion Henderson, his strength is being a pass protection. And he did not fumble the ball once last year. He was rated like top whatever in college football. So fumbling and pass protection should not keep him off the field. That just comes down to talent, speed, productivity versus Ramondre Stevenson. So he's got a good chance. And again, I went back and checked the running backs for what's his name, dude, Josh McDaniels. And especially pass catching running backs, because I'm watching training camp footage of this guy, Travion Henderson, being a wide receiver in a running back's body. James White on steroids, dude. James White had 123 targets with 7 reception touchdowns in 2018 with McDaniels. He had a wide receiver 7 finish, and he only averaged 5.9 carries per game, dude. So just imagine this guy splitting carries with Ramondre Stevenson. It's going to be like, 11 and 11 or 10. He's going to be at way more than 5.9 carries per game. Holy shit. So we're talking top 10 potential for Travion Henderson, and is going in this 7th round as a running back. That is insane, especially PPR, half PPR. He's going to be a number 1 running back for you. He has, oh yeah, McDaniels one full year with the Raiders. Josh Jacobs, that's when he was, I thought he was the best fantasy running back. He was in standard leagues, but not in PPR. He was running back 3 overall. That was his best year of all time. Jahmyr Gibbs, like potential. Now he's a little bit slower than Jahmyr Gibbs, but whereas Jahmyr Gibbs avoids contact, this guy runs through shit and like breaks tackles. It's crazy. So if he had Jahmyr Gibbs productivity, I would not be surprised. Mike Vrabel, they got Will Campbell. Oh my God, I misspelled. I added some letters of that on accident. But Will Campbell has been a stud so far through camp as a left tackle. This offensive line is going to take a step forward. Mike Vrabel, defensive head coach, wants to run the ball. And then you look at their strength of schedule, dude. The second best running back strength of schedule. The second best. Travion Henderson, man, is going to be a league winner. Draft him in the 4th round and forget about it. I don't care. Overdraft him. The 14th best playoff strength of schedule. He gets to go against Buffalo, who could not stop the run at all last year. Baltimore, who I'm afraid of, and the Jets, who I'm afraid of. But for the most part, man, Travion Henderson's going to be, if you're in PPR or half PPR, don't even worry about the matchup, for God's sakes. He is a must-draft MVP player. I'm putting my stamp on him, dude. He's going to outperform his ADP by at least 24 picks, 2 rounds. I don't care if he's going in the 4th round, man. He's still going to be worthy of a 2nd-round pick. We'll be talking about him in the 2nd round next year, and then maybe in the 1st round of the year after that. So I love him so much, Jason. He's leading prayer groups, for God's sakes. Yeah, he's my MVP.
Yeah, so when it comes down to like ball security, in 300 rushing attempts the last 2 seasons, he has 0 fumbles lost, and Stevenson has had like 7 lost. And then this quick thing, just kind of back you up here, that when he was at OSU, he averaged 11.2 yards per reception and had an 86.4 catch rate. And he's got a 9.45 RAS score, and it's definitely, belongs in New England. Best pass blocker. He's going to steal more carries from Stevenson that you realize, because there's going to be a time where they're probably not going to take this guy off the field because he's going to be able to do everything. And in training camp, dude, all I hear in training camp is
in the preseason game. I even talk about the preseason game.
Yeah, to touchdown to Trayvon Henderson. That's all I'm seeing in this damn news feed.
Telling you, man, like, it's going to be like a 2nd-round pick next year, and you're going to be getting him in the 4th round, which is, you're overdrafting him by 3 rounds, and you're still getting a value. But he was going so late, like, oh my God, I kept on picking him because I was like, I'm just looking for, potential running back 1s late, and I was getting him so late, and now it's like, fuck, man. So I wish we drafted right now, but we're drafting late. All right. Anyways, that is everybody. Again, if you want to be in the league, would you take Burrow, Hurts, or Chase 4th pick in a super flex draft? Oh, super flex. That's what makes it crazy. So Burrow, Hurts, or Chase. Jamar Chase? I'm taking Chase, and then I'm taking Joe Burrow over Hurts.
Yeah. Go Bengals this year, man. They're going to be scoring.
Yeah, but for potential is like, go look at Burrow's points versus Jamar Chase's points. I would go with that. I would go with Jamar Chase. That's kind of crazy to think that you'd take a wide receiver over a wide receiver, Jason, if you could, or a wide receiver over a quarterback. But if it's Jamar Chase, I'm chasing those 50-point games. Joe Burrow gets 30-point games. He does not get 40, 50-point games. Jamar Chase does. So I'm chasing that upside with Jamar Chase. Otherwise, other than that, I'd take Joe Burrow over every other fucking wide receiver. So not a bad question. All right, man. Again, if you want to be in our league, if you watch this regularly, please comment down below. I will invite you. Minecraft something. I need to please comment down below. Send an email to tylerward16@yahoo.com. And then I will invite you. I invited Maddie and the 530 today, Dirty Maddie. So yeah. Olaf, please comment down below. Send us your email, tylerward16@yahoo. We will get you in the league. Jason, send us out.
Yeah. Olaf, make sure you send your information. And then Sexy Mexi, dude, excited. Get us in there. That's also more content that we could put out for this show. For you guys. For the people. The people of Gotham. We got some videos coming out next week, Tyler. I have a draft blueprint coming out. Do you have anything?
I went on all the preseason games happening. I was thinking about doing the same thing I did last time, but I'm working on my rankings, Jason. My rankings are almost done. I'm going to be putting out all my rankings soon. And then we're going to be doing a rankings episode, I think, next week, right?
We should. Yeah. That'll probably be best.
Yeah.
There's a preseason game right now.
Yeah. So I think I might be doing the preseason thing where I'm just kind of doing my waiver wire shit. Just like, who should you watch? Who's making the biggest impact in preseason right now? But yeah, I'm just trying to think in the moment. But we do need to put out our rankings.
Yeah. We could do that next Friday. That'd be down. I'll be down.
That'd be down. We're good. All right, guys. This is Tyler Big Turkey War, Jason the Lucky Bastard of the Walt. This is Fantasy Red Zone. We appreciate you.
Drew says. Hold on. Drew says.
Fuck.